My name is Cinzia Zuffada. I was born in Broni, Italy, and now I live in Los Angeles. I work at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in NASA Center in Pasadena, California. The background of my family is small business owners. So I am the first in my family to have a university education. My parents had a small business that involved transportation. So they worked together. My mother was, in her generation, somebody who was working with my father out of the house, and that was very unusual. That was out of necessity that they had to do that. And I didn't have much growing up, right? So education was very valued in my family because it was a way out of that kind of socio-economic layer where we were living. I went to the University of Pavia and I got a degree in electrical engineering, which was in the 70s a relatively unusual path certainly for women. I was thinking of an academic career in Italy, which I did. I started for a while. I worked at the University of Pavia for a few years, but I desired more opportunities than what I could find in Pavia. And so I eventually left Italy and moved to the United States. I worked first in a consulting company doing work for the Department of Defense. And later on, I joined the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I was often the only woman in a group of men at work. And so in my case, in particular, once I left Italy, I was also an immigrant woman, right? So somebody speaking with an accent in a group of men, not knowing often the context. So I had to learn these things as I went along. It was definitely a journey of discovery as I was living the journey. So it has always been a dream of mine to work in an environment where big things are happening. I mean, the outcome of efforts are outcomes that go beyond an individual. And so definitely the environment of NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory provided me with those ingredients to reach my professional fulfillment and feel that I could give my best. And at the end of the day, I feel that I have made some contributions that hopefully are helpful for society at large. I definitely remember my first day at JPL, NASA, because it was raining in Southern California. And that is in itself an unusual event. I was about 35 when I started. My background is that of a mathematical modeler, in particular is the modeling of propagation signals. So how electromagnetic signals propagate through the atmosphere of our planet or other planets. I am actually an earth scientist. I work and I'm interested in our own planet. And so my own work has been in remote sensing of the Earth. We have a satellite that looks at the Earth from afar. What I've been studying in the last several years is how do we measure the extent of the surface waters, so the wetlands, the distribution of water on the land, and how they change. They also are responsible for the production of methane. And methane is a powerful greenhouse gas. So the increase in the production of methane is of concern because it contributes to global warming. So having knowledge of what is going on globally on wetlands is very important. I met my husband right at Caltech. Bruce and I were working in the same building, completely different groups, but we crossed paths. Bruce was a great friend since the very beginning. Bruce is from Australia, so we were both foreigners in the US, in a place like Caltech. And so he gave me yet another perspective. The garden is important because it's a project. When we bought the house, the garden wasn't like this, and so the house was disappointing to me. That was the time when, coming from Italy, I really was looking for a different environment, right? And so, but that presented me with the opportunity. And I come from a small place, and I grew up in a huge garden because we had vineyards. It was a way for us to build our life together around the planning and then the implementation, the design of the elements. We have a fish pond which we designed, and so it's really our way of creating. I have been involved with a non-profit organization, the Italian Scientists and Scholars in North America Foundation. This is an organization that represents the Italian intellectual diaspora in the various disciplines of research. A little over a year ago, I became its president. And it's the first female president. I also have a female vice president. What we do is we celebrate the Italian talent, the Italian excellence, and we coordinate a number of activities that support them. The idea is to give back to our country. We are all Italians who were educated in Italy and who have come to the United States to work. So there is a sense of giving back to those of us who are just arriving, help the youngsters integrate, help them celebrate their successes. The most important ingredient for somebody to succeed is having a sense of respect, a sense of support, and a sense of accepting you as part of the team to ensure that you can then be successful on your path. I miss the people, for sure, and I miss certain places because I had no memories. It takes a while for memories to develop, and memories involve people and places. And then as time goes by and I have morphed, I'm no longer the person I used to be, and my identity has changed a little bit. There are different things that come back to me that I miss from Italy. Almost I would like to be able to move quickly in space, to be able to live both here and there, right? And perhaps in my lifetime we will have that kind of transportation. My dream is to really put in place a stronger relationship between Italy and North America. So I hope that ISNAF can be leveraged to do something good also for Italy. We all would like to see that happen. And so we in ISNAF want to work to make that happen. Italians, Italian universities, Italian academics, Italian industry, foundations to work together to increase the opportunities for Italian talent to be appreciated, to be successful, and Italian people to succeed.